What it do? Back again, coming through. Who that is? That ain't nobody with Sumi Sue about to do these nails, boo. Listen, I got my Instagram back, and to put me in an even better mood, I'm gonna be doing my nails. So if you're interested in seeing these winter wonderland nails, stick around and keep on watching.
Savannah, I'm coming home, Savannah.
So today I'm going to be using the Gel X in the natural Coffin, and no, I'm not using medium, sorry. I'm going to be using the long Coffin, and I have them in natural. And the reason I have them in natural is because my nails are a little bit on the flatter side, more so than like rounded. So if you have like really round nails and you're going to be doing the same thing that I'm doing, you want to get the sculpted. The sculpted is a little bit more of a deeper indent on the area where you apply the nail. Is a little bit more rounded, a little deeper, so it's going to fit your nail a lot better. Whereas natural kind of lays a little bit more flat and is great for people with flat nails, hence me. So that is what I'm going to be using. So I'm going to be using these, okay? I use a plethora of nails, but today I feel like I want to use the Gel X because it's a celebration, okay? So you got to pull out the good stuff. Okay, so to help you guys see a little bit better, because my table is white, I'm going to be laying down a black cloth so you can see the actual nails, because we're going to be prepping these. And I want you to see everything, okay? So I already went ahead and I selected all of my nails. So you want to do that. You want to lay them out. You want to get all your tools out. That way this can be a really speedy type of, your workflow is just, it works a lot better when everything is out, okay? That's what you want to do. These nails are perfect on their own, but I do want to shorten them a bit, and I don't shorten them the traditional way. I shorten them from the back. I want the tip to stay tapered, and if you start to shorten the tip area, it's going to get a little bit more wide. So I don't like that. So I always go in from the back because I still have a lot of space for this to cover my whole entire nail bed. So I'm going to shorten from this area. So basically what I do is just cut round, because all of the Gel X, for some reason, they come kind of square, and my nail beds are more on a rounder type of thing. So that's what I want to do, okay? And like I said, these are just a tad bit too long, but I don't want it to be super, super short. It's been a while since I have worked with the clear type of nail. So you always want to go in anytime. I always forget this, but I normally like use nails that are more in a natural color. So you just want to cloudy up the nail, and all you want to do is just buff the surface. And then you can really see the nail, and then you can go in and continue to do what you're doing, okay? So now that I have everything sized up to where I want it, it's just a tad bit shorter, just a tad bit, okay? And that's how I like to do these particular nails. Now we're gonna shape the back end and really make everything nice and smooth. And like I said, I'm going to be doing them together. That way I can see, if I'm shortening one more than the other, so I can keep them uniform, because I'm kind of OCD about my nails, okay? I am. I'm not going to hold you, okay, girl? So I'm just going to continue to round out the back, make it nice and smooth. The file that I'm using is quite a heavy grit file, so as you can tell, it's smoothing out really, really nicely, really, really quickly. And then a very important step is you want to kind of buff the nail down, because once you cut it like that, it becomes kind of blunt cut. So you want to file downwards to make it a little bit more flat. That way, when you put it on your nail, it lays nice and flush on the nail bed. Make sense? Okay. So I'm going to take my buffer. I got this here in Japan. It's a 100 to 180 grip. So I'm going to take the softer side, the 180 side, and I'm just going to buff the nail to get rid of most of the shine. I like to buff the nail because I'm going to be placing acrylic on top of these. And the reason I do this, if you've ever worn any of these nails, okay, you know that the tip, the shape, tends to wear off and they start to look like rounded, just with regular wear and tear. That's what they do. But if you put a light amount of acrylic just on the tip and you're going to feather it down, you're not going to change the shape of the nail. It's not going to become too thick or bulky. I have acrylic on these, okay, and my nails always stay in perfect shape whenever I do any of my nails, just on the tip, okay? The rest of the nail is sturdy enough. It really doesn't need extra strength, but to avoid the shape changing, because as soon as the edges start to round out, I get annoyed and I want to change them. I hate that look. It is not for me. I want my edges, my tips my edges. But you know what I mean, okay? To stay just like this, okay? Nice and square. So we're going to be applying acrylic on top. So before I do anything, I just like to go in and give it a light buff, cloudy up the nail so you can see the nail. So we're going to go ahead and do this to all 10. I have been using Mia's Secret acrylic stuff. I have the acrylic in almost every single color. I tend to use the clear the most because I like to actually paint my nails. This is their monomer that I have in a little jar here, okay? This is what the monomer looks like, the liquid monomer, okay? Now, this monomer, I would say, is like a medium to fast setting monomer, so you do have to work quickly with it. If you are not used to working with acrylic, you might want to make sure that you're getting a slower set acrylic. Also, when working with acrylic, you want to make sure that your room temperature is not too cold. That way it'll, you know, set a little bit slower. It gives you a little bit more working time. Okay, so when it comes to brushes, I like to use a number 6 for this particular type of thing. I used to use a number 10. Number 10 is fine, but I find that sometimes it goes a little overboard because you're picking up a lot more acrylic with this brush. You just want a really small brush for this. So right now, my number 6 is my comfort zone. This is a Cad's Kolinsky brush. I will have this link down below, but I do find that the smaller the brush, the better the application will be. You know, you have a little bit more control and so forth because you're just working with a really small area. You're not covering the whole entire nail. You're just going from the tip and you're feathering down halfway. You want to maintain the shape of the nail. Acrylic can get bulky, and I don't want that, okay? Because we are going to be painting this with gel polish. You still want the nail to look really thin, but sturdy and strong. And also doing this is what's going to give it that salon effect. Okay, so let's go. So like I said, you just want to saturate your brush, and your ball is going to be very important. You don't want it to be super wet because you want to control exactly what you're doing with this. I have had this brush for years. As you can tell, we're having some mishaps right here. So sometimes I just like to pluck it out. And if it doesn't come out, I will actually use my thingamajiggy and just cut the hair. It doesn't really matter. Just get everything, you know, in line. This brush is super, super old, but if you take care of your brushes, you can still make it work, okay? I have snipped some hairs, honey. Okay. So we're going to go in and get a nice tiny ball. You don't want a whole lot. I hope you guys can see. We're going to place it right on the very tip of the nail, and we're going to start to press it out. Press it out, press it out, cover the whole entire tip. And then we're going to feather it back down into the nail. And like I said, if you do this correctly, you only need to do it one time, but doing this little amount of acrylic is what's going to maintain that shape. As you can tell, the nail still looks the same. It doesn't look thick or anything. And it does have a little bit more thickness to it. I don't know if you can tell compared to the other nails, but this is what's going to maintain that shape. And this is what's going to give it the salon look. Okay, so you want to go ahead and do that to all 10 of the nails. Let's go. Okay, so I'm going to make these sit and completely dry before we go in and buff them. And to buff, I am going to be using the 100 and 180 grit. I'm going to be using the rougher side. This is the 100 side. The lower the number on your file, the grittier, the harsher, the more coarse the file, I should say. And I'm just going to be using this. This is, what is this? This is, I think, a 180 or something like that. This side is super, super rough. This side is a little bit rough. So I'm just going to be using this for the very tip of the nail when I'm done. As for the rest of the shape of the nail, it's perfect. So we're just going to buff and clean up. That's it. Okay, so like I said, I'm just going to be buffing, and I'm going to be using the coarser side. The layout of the nails are already perfect. You can tell there's not a lot of work to do. And if you look at the profile, I hope you can see that. You know, it looks pretty smooth, so there's really not a lot of work to do. And that's how you want the acrylic to be. You don't want to do it too bulky or lumpy, or else you're going to be here sitting doing extra stuff that you really don't need to be doing. Okay, so try and lay your acrylic perfect beforehand. That way you have less work to do. Okay, so let's go. So I'm just going to go back and forth. Up and down is mostly the way that I like to do it. Just get the whole entire nail. flip it to the other side, do the other side as well. And yeah, I like back and forth. I need to be explaining this stuff to you, eh? But this is how I like to do it. This is how I like to, you know, ensure that everything is perfect from side to side, all around and everything. Then I go in and I look at the tip of the nail. Hello. I go in and I look at the tip of the nail to see if everything is looking smooth up top. And there's not much to do there. And now I'll just do the side, like whatever little stuff got curled under. Basically, just remove that to make sure the sides are nice and clean and smooth. And your nail should be looking something like that. And then I will take the softer side and just give it a light buff because there's not much to do here. You know, the acrylic was laid nicely, so there's not a lot to do. And then lastly, I will just take my other file on the softer side of the file and just really, you know, touch up that tip, make it nice and square. And that's basically it. And that nail is ready to be painted. So I'm going to go ahead and do that to the rest of the nails. Okay. Okay. So now it is time to polish the nails. So I'm going to be using these two tin covers. I got this, it's a set. Okay. It looks like this. I got this on Amazon and it comes with the little black and gold, black and white. Actually, I have some rose gold and some gold ones in here, but I'm not using those. I kind of like to use these. So it's just a set that came with this. And instead of using the actual thingamajiggy, this thing here, I don't care for that. Like, I prefer to use this. I don't know why. It's just a preference. Okay, it still sticks. So we're going to get the nail prepped. And now it is time for the fun part, the polish. Okay, so let's go. Okay, so I have my machine. I got this on Amazon here in Japan. You can use any machine that you have. I've had this one for years. For my polish, I'm going to be using several polishes, you know, not from one particular brand or anything like that. I'm just using whatever I have. So first up, we're going to go in with our base coat. Base coat is by Madame Glam. And the nude polish is by Kiara Sky. It's the perfect nude. This is what I have on my nails right now. It looks like that. And as you can tell, it is the perfect nude. I absolutely love this color. So, yeah. And so what else? Next, we're going to go in with Savvy Land. I got this on Amazon. This is one of those reflective glitters. I've never used this before. This is brand new. So we're going to see how it works out. But it's basically, it's glitter red is a color. And this came in a set. And for my top coat, I'm going to be using the Macart non-white top coat. Okay, so let's go. So first up, like I said, I'm going to go in with the base coat. And this base coat is by Madame Glam. Okay. And I'm going in very, very thin. You want an extremely thin layer, okay? So make sure you wipe off your brush. You just want to really coat the nail and fill any ridges and anything like that. So you see how the nail becomes clear now after you polish it. So yeah. Anyways, we're just going to paint the nail. And for some reason, I like to paint from the tip backwards. That's just what I like to do. And like I said, you just want an extremely thin coat. It should almost look like there's nothing on the brush. And you're just going to keep like brushing until the whole nail is coated. And the reason you want to do a really thin layer of this is because you're going to be applying several coats and you don't want this to get bulky because they can get bulky. Gel can get bulky. So you always want to work with thin layers, okay? Okay, so now it's time for the nude polish. Hopefully you guys can see. So likewise, very thin layer. And you want to apply a base coat, okay? A base coat really helps to smoothen the nail, smoothen the surface. That way you can get a really smooth application. But you want the thinnest layer, thin. You don't want to be doing this too thick, okay? Because you don't want the nail to get bulky. I can't stress that enough. Okay, so it is time for the second coat. Likewise, we are going to continue to apply a very thin coat. Not too much, okay? And if we need a third coat, we'll do that. But right now, this actually looks really good. So I might be able to get away with just 2 coats because that looks really good. Still a little sheer, but it's not that bad. Okay, so it's time for me to do the French nails, and I'm going to be using this brush. It is a art type of drawing brush, like one of those, what, I don't know what you call it, girl. Okay, one of these thin brushes. And it is by the brand called Beetles. And I changed my mind because I don't want to go in with too much of this. I just want this to be like a little topper, kind of like what I have on my actual nails right now. So I'm going to go in with this gel polish. I got this on Amazon, and it's basically, not Amazon, sorry. I got this on AliExpress, and it is a Art Clavo gel polish, and the color is 2108, and it's basically a really bright true red. Looks like that. So I'm going to use this as a base first and then go in with the glitter on top. That way it's not too bulky. Okay. Okay, so to do this, I like to actually just dip straight into the product and get a nice little coat, and I freehand it. Basically, I've been doing this long enough, you know, that I can actually get a good C line, a C whatever, C curl, smile line. I don't know what they call it, girl, okay? So the first thing I like to do is go straight in on the center of the nail to determine how thick I want the French to be. And right about now, I want it to be about that thick, okay? Then I'm going to go from one end to the next and just going to come like that. And like that. And because I'm working with an actual, like with the nail by itself, I can flip it and turn it anyhow I want. That really helps to get the line as well. So I'm going to start to draw the line. And if I mess up, I just wipe it off and start again because nothing is dry. So I'm going to keep carrying it down until I get to the tip of where I want this thing to be. But I'm actually liking how this looks actually, so I might just wipe away. Like that looks pretty good. Can you focus? Like that looks pretty good already. I think I'm going to carry it down a little bit further. Now I don't think I want it that thick. Let's see. Let's see. I'm going to play with it until I get it how I want. Okay, so that looks pretty good. I'm just going to wipe away that little tip right there. I'm not going to keep that. I hope we're in focus. I'm so sorry. To do that, what I'm going to do is just take a dry Q-tip, just a dry, small Q-tip, and just wipe that away. Just wipe it away, wipe it away. And should look like that. Okay, so I like how that looks. So now I'm going to fill in the rest of the tip with the regular brush. We're just going to brush down and not mess up our smile line. Is that what you call it? Our C curve, our C whatever. Girl, no girl. And likewise, you just want one thin coat. Okay. Okay, so now that all of the nails are done, I'm going to go back to doing them one at a time because now I know that they're perfectly lined up. So there's no need for them to be side by side like this. This is fully cured. So this part is actually pretty easy. Applying the gel, the glitter gel, we're just laying it on top. and lining it up and curing it, and that's about it. I am thinking about if I want to do some snowflakes on this. I'm thinking about it. Let's see, girl. Let's see where we go with this today, girl. Okay. I don't know, girl. Let's see. All right. So we're just going to brush it on. Oh, this is like gritty glitter. Okay, girl, I'm getting excited now. I feel like, yeah, I want to do some like snowflakes on the tip, because these are going to be my winter nails. Like, you know, I'm going to wear this for the month of December. So that's good. That's really pretty. So I'm just going to line this up. You know, connect all the edges. Oh my goodness, this is pretty. Mm-mm-mm. Mm-mm-mm. Okay, so I'm deciding to go all out. Normally, don't go all out like this. Like right now, I'm looking at them like this looks perfect on its own, and I kind of just want to stop here, but we're celebrating. So, okay, we're celebrating the return of my Instagram girl. Okay, so we got to go all out for her because that's my baby. So the first thing I'm doing is I'm taking like a little cotton pad, and I'm wiping the nail down with some alcohol just to remove the top layer of the stickiness from the actual gel. Now I'm going to remove this nail and I'm going to be buffing it down. Okay. I'm going to buff it down so it can regain its proper shape. Now, right now it looks okay, but to my naked eye, I can see some little lumps and stuff in her. So I want to straighten that out. So to do that, I'm just going to take the buffing file and I'm going to use the hard side. I'm going to be using both, but we're just going to straighten up those lines and get everything nice and, you know, perfect. She needs a little, you know, you just can't just leave it like that. If you know, you know, okay? This gel polish can really take you, okay? So I'm putting down a towel to catch like the dust and stuff so my table can remain clean. So I'm just going to go, and you want to do this very lightly, guys, okay? Very, very lightly, all right? Very lightly, because you don't want to take away any of the work you've already done. You just want to kind of just make the top and everything smooth. All right, that's what we're trying to do. And especially try to focus mainly on the top area more so than the back. The back is fine, but you want to smooth out that top layer without removing the glitter or the red polish. Basically, you don't really need to do the whole entire nail. It's not needed. Okay, so I went ahead and I buffed all the nails just to make, you know, it not so lumpy. And now I'm going to go in with Pure White. This is also by Kiara Sky. And with this, I am going to put this on a little dish because I'm going to be using a dotting tool to create the snowflakes and the snow particles. And I'm going to be mirroring. That's why I have both of the thumbnails. So I'm going to be doing the same thing with all of the rest of the nails so everything can look nice and uniform. And we're just going to put a little bit of the white down. We don't need a whole lot. And we're going to create like, let's see. Ooh, and I also got my little striper tool. Yes, striper tool. You see how that just came out? Girl, I didn't know what to call it. Ciao. And I got my dotting tool. Okay, so you guys can't even see. Ooh, help us all. All right, so I'm going to go in with the small dot first. No, that's a lie. I'm going to go in with the big dot tool first. And I'm going to place, can you guys see? Ooh, I'm going to place one dot right in the center, like so. And then I'm going to switch to the smaller dotting tool, and I'm going to do 2 dots this way. I'm going to do another 2 dots this way. Come on now. Stop playing. Okay, can you guys see that? Ooh, I hope so. Hold on. Okay, so I went ahead and I buffed all the nails just to make, you know, it not so lumpy. And now I'm going to go in with Pure White. This is also by Kiara Sky. And with this, I am going to put this on a little dish because I'm going to be using a dotting tool to create the snowflakes and the snow particles. And I'm going to be mirroring. That's why I have both of the thumbnails. So I'm going to be doing the same thing with all of the rest of the nails so everything can look nice and uniform. And we're just going to put a little bit of the white down. We don't need a whole lot. And we're going to create like, let's see. Ooh, and I also got my little striper tool. Yes, striper tool. You see how that just came out? Girl, I didn't know what to call it. Ciao. And I got my dotting tool. Okay, so you guys can't even see. Ooh. Help us all. All right, so I'm going to go in with the small dot first. No, that's a lie. I'm going to go in with the big dot tool first. And I'm going to place, can you guys see? Ooh. I'm going to place 1 dot right in the center, like so. And then I'm going to switch to the smaller dotting tool, and I'm going to do 2 dots this way. I'm going to do another 2 dots this way. Come on now. Stop playing. And now I'm going to place another 2 dots this way. And another 2 dots this way. And 1 dot here. 1 dot here. 1 dot here. And 1 dot right there. Okay, now that we have that, I'm going to go in with my striper tool. I'm just going to pick up a little bit of color. I don't need much. And, ooh, I hope you guys can see. And then we're going to swipe out. Okay, how pretty is that? Now that we have that, I'm going to very sparingly, I'm going to take another dotting tool. This one is a lot finer than this one, the other one. And very sparingly, I'm just going to create like little dots here and there to create like snowflakes, if that makes any sense. You know, it doesn't need to be perfect. And make sure you drop 1, 2 down on the base of the nail, and that's what that is going to look like. Let me see, do I like that? Yeah, I like that. Okay, we're gonna leave that. All the nails are designed and I'm super excited. Now I'm not gonna lie, this is quite busy for me because I like to keep it simple. But hey, here we are. Okay, so now I'm gonna go in with the Macard non-wipe top coat. And you just need 1 coat of this because it coats really, really well. And I'm just gonna do a very thin layer because like I said, I don't want it to be bulky. Look at that. Look how that came to life so pretty. Ooh. I know you learn. I know you learn. I know you learn. Look at that. Okay, so these are the nails. I think they look really, really pretty and I can't wait to put them on. So, doing my nails is an actual ritual for me, okay? It is spiritual, baby. What I mean by that is I just don't put on my nails, honey. Okay, I need to feel nice and clean from my fresh set. So whenever I'm doing my nails, I always, when I'm done prepping the nails like this, before I put them on, I like to hop in the shower, wash my hair, braid my hair, do my skincare, you know, just get really nice and clean and then put on my nails. It's just a thing for me, okay? That way when they're done, I can just sit on the couch, eat some snacks, and just feel really nice and cute and pretty. It's just a thing, okay? I can't put it on like this right now because I need to go shower, babe. Okay. I need to get all this dust off of me. And yeah, so okay, so these are the nails. I think they look really, really pretty and I can't wait to put them on. So, doing my nails is an actual ritual for me. Okay. It is spiritual, baby. What I mean by that is I just don't put on my nails, honey. Okay, I need to feel nice and clean from my fresh set. So whenever I'm doing my nails, I always, when I'm done prepping the nails like this, before I put them on, I like to hop in the shower, wash my hair, braid my hair, do my skincare, you know, just get really nice and clean and then put on my nails. It's just a thing for me, okay? That way when they're done, I can just sit on the couch, eat some snacks, and just feel really nice and cute and pretty. It's just a thing, okay? I can't put it on like this right now because I need to go shower, babe, okay? I need to get all this dust off of me. And yeah, so what you guys didn't see was I actually did my pedicure. I'll show you that afterwards. But I did do my toes. My toes are okay. So yeah, I will be back to show the application on how you can apply these and make them last for a very long time. Okay, aren't they pretty? They look so luxe already. Like, come on. That is just super cute. Okay, so I am all nice and clean and ready for my fresh set. Now I already went ahead and I prepped my left hand because this is I prepped my right hand because I'm right-handed and that's my less, what? It's my less dominant hand to work with my left hand? What? Girl, I prep my right hand with my left hand because I work a little bit slower. Y'all get the point, chat. You know what? Let's just move on. Okay, so it's time for me to prep my left hand. So we're just going to breeze right through this. So the first thing I like to do is remove my cuticles. It might not seem like it, but they are there. You know, there's a little dryness around there. So I like to actually go in with a drill bit and just softly remove the cuticles, you know, make them look really nice and clean and all of that good stuff. You know what I'm saying? You want to remove all of that. So I also use this to push back on my cuticles. So, you know, yeah, it's all I like to do. Okay, so let's just get right on into it, girl. Ooh, this all is talking. Okay, so now that I have my cuticles all nice and done away with, it is time to snip my nails. Now, I tend to snip my nails in a oval shape. I don't know if you can tell. And then I file them also in an oval shape. And the reason I do oval instead of square is because I don't like any of my natural nail to peek through of the false nails. So just these little tips, you know, removing your cuticles, pushing them back, giving yourself a proper manicure as if you were going to the salon, you know, as if you were in the salon. You know, they do all these extra things so your acrylics can look really nice or your gel-X can look really nice. We're trying to achieve a salon look with these nails, okay? We don't want them to look too press-on-y and we want them to look really good and clean. So these little things will make your nails last extremely long, okay? Okay, the nails are nice and prepped. So the last thing I like to do is, not this one, with this one, I use the rougher side. I like to use the 100 side because I don't know if you can tell, but I still have some glue. That might look like my nails are chipped. You can tell really good on my thumb. I have a lot of glue left, so I'm going to try and buff that away, and that's all we're going to do, and we're going to get right on into the application. So this tends to like remove most of it, not all of it, but it does buff the nail really nicely so I can have a really, you know, rough edge, rough surface for my nails because we're going to be using glue, okay? I'll talk about that in a moment. Okay, so it's time to press on the nails. So the first thing, don't they look good? I already did this hand because, you know, my non-dominant hand, all right? So I like to do my 4 fingers and then leave my thumbs because this is what I apply most of the pressure with. So whoop-de-whoop, shibbity-boop, boop, boop. Girl, if you want your nails to last super long, I'm talking up to 3 weeks, 4 weeks, okay? Because I'm going to leave these on for at least a good 3 to 4 weeks, all right? We're going to push through. It depends on if I get bored. That's when I normally change them. But most of the time, I leave them on a pretty long time, okay? I used to do my nails like twice a month. Now I only do it like once a month. You get what I'm saying? Okay, so if you want your nails to last, you do all those steps that I showed you a while ago, okay? Buff the nail, remove the cuticle, clip the cuticle if that's what you're into. And then, girl, go in with a dehydrator. This one is by Aprés. You can use any dehydrator, okay? You can use any brand. I also have the Mia Secret one. I use that one as well. But right now, I'm using this one, all right? Put this on the nail. This is really going to help to dehydrate that nail and prep that nail for that glue. It just basically eats up any kind of oil that might be left on the nail that you didn't get. You also want to do this with a clean hand, okay? Make sure you wash your hand of all your lotions and oils or whatever, okay? You want to come with a clean hand and start prepping like how I showed you, and then do this step. This step is what's going to make your nails last, okay? Yes. Now, I'm going to take the nail, and before I apply it, I like to push back. Can you, come on. Ooh, I like to use the nail and push back on the cuticle. This just really helps to form that cuticle area to the nail, okay? So that's what I like to do, all right? Now, I used to do acrylic press-ons. I no longer do that. Listen, like I said, these press-ons have come a long way, and so have the glues, okay? These glues are really doing the business, all right? The one that I'm using is by Macart. I bought these in a pack of like, I think 20, so I have one with me all the time. Most of the time I don't even really need it because, like I said, my nails really don't pop off like that. Like, they just don't, girl, okay? So I'm gonna put some of the glue. Like, I've just moved on from acrylic, you know, like this is just a lot faster in my opinion. It is still messy, but I'm gonna show you how to, you know, clean up the nail and so forth. So I like to put 2 drops in here and spread it out. Use the tip of the glue thingy and just spread it out, and then I like to just rest it on my little putty right there so it's ready to grab. And then I'm going to do 1 drop on my nail, and I'm also going to spread this out as well. Okay, yeah, gone are the days. I have been doing this for a long time now, and I really like it. I just have been experimenting with other, you know, different ways on how to make them really, really last. And this works, okay? It works. You don't have to, and it's cheaper than getting acrylic to do this, okay? So we're going to push back on that cuticle. Really push back. You don't want to push back too much to the point where it's hurting. And we're going to hold it down. Now this is going to make or break your nails. You want to hold this down for a good 2 to 3 minutes. The description on the glue actually says to hold it down for like 45 seconds. No, girl. Hold it down because that glue is still setting in there. Okay. That's how you get air bubbles and all of that. Like, you want to hold this down for at least 2 minutes. Really put pressure on it. This is what's going to help the nail to stay on for as long as you want it to stay on. If you don't believe me, you just have to try it for yourself, okay? 45 seconds, no, it's a no-go. You want to hold it down. You want to hold it down as long as possible, okay? So I'm going to do that, and I'm going to come on right back. Okay, so it's been about actually 3 minutes. Like I said, I like to really hold it down. So while I'm working, I like to just use a piece of tissue to catch any glue that might have oozed out. And yeah, when working with glue, you definitely want to work with gel polish. If you're going to do this on regular nail polish, like, it's gonna, the glue is gonna melt the polish, okay? So you're gonna just mess up your work. So get into gels, girl. Okay, now for the back of the nail, a lot of times, because I put down a good amount of glue, I'm not skimpy with it, I have some oozing out in the back here. So I just like to go in with a tiny little Q-tip and just wipe away the inside to make it nice and clean. That way the glue doesn't dry back there and leave that white residue and look all crusty. You want your nails to look beautiful, okay? Yes, but look at that already. Isn't that pretty? Come on, girl, come on. Okay, time for the next one. So I'm gonna use the nail as usual, and I'm gonna push it back one more time. Push back on my cuticles, really form it to the nail, and then I'm gonna do 2 drops, or 1.5 I should say, not 2. I normally do 2 drops for my thumb fingers, but I put a good amount of glue. I find that the more glue you put, the longer it'll last. And then I just stick it on my little putty, so when I'm ready to grab it, it's easy. And then I put 1 drop on my nail and just spread it out with the nozzle of this thing. Just spread it out all over. Flip it over, and we're gonna push back on that cuticle, hold it down, and we're gonna hold this down for another 2 to 3 minutes. Okay, so this time I got a lot of glue on the side. I don't know if you can see that. I just like to use a dry tissue paper. I'm gonna go back and clean this up, but not right now because I want them to set. And then I'm gonna take a little, sometimes there's not a lot, but a little Q-tip, and just wipe out any of the glue that's in there, you know. So I'm going to continue, and I'm just going to speed up this part, but that's basically all I do. And look at that. See if I can get a close-up. Look how nice that looks, sidewall to sidewall, you know, really pushed back on the cuticles. It just looks flawless. It looks so, so pretty. Okay, so all the nails are on. So there's 2 more steps that I like to do, which I'm not going to do now. I'm actually going to lounge around for like 15 to 30 minutes, and then I'll come back and show you exactly what I like to do, and I'll explain why I'm going to wait. Well, I can explain now. I like to make them fully set, like really give them a chance to set, because I know that somewhere in the middle there is still soft and ooey gooey, even though I held it down for like 2 to 3 minutes. Today I kind of did 3 minutes, I'm not gonna lie. I kind of sat here for like 3 minutes on each finger. It's just what I like to do. I'm watching girlfriends and, you know, doing my nails, okay? This is my pamper time, but I like to really give them a chance to fully set, fully cure before I go in and do any cleanup or any moisturizer, okay? So I'll be back in a minute. Aren't they pretty though? OMG. Okay, so it's been about 45 minutes. I went ahead and just relaxed for a bit because, girl, this was a lot of work, okay? And I haven't really relaxed since I started. So this is my nail cloth, and what I like to do is go in with pure acetone. Don't worry, don't be scared, okay? But this is what you want to use to clean up your nail. The only thing I will say is, the only tip I will give you, or the vital tip that I will give you, girl, can you get it out, is to use a cloth. When you use a cloth like this, like a little fiber cloth, it soaks up most of the product, and that's what you want. I find that when I use a cotton swab, it's just too saturated, or a little cotton pad, it's just too saturated. But using a cloth like this, like the product evaporates really quick and it's not as wet, that's what you want, okay? And with this, I like to just give myself a nice little scrub on the fingers, on the sides especially, and around the cuticles. Reason being, this is really going to remove a lot of that glue and really clean up the nail, you know? You don't want it to be saturated because this can loosen up the glue. And just wipe down the whole entire nail, bring back that shine. Okay, you're just polishing with this basically. I'm going to show you a good before and after. That one is nice and clean. So this one, you can see like on the sides, there is that little shine. That is glue. I want to get rid of that. I'm gonna put some more and just really go in and scrub on the sides, like just, you know, really get in there, and it just gets the glue and it really makes the nail look really put together. It's just extra steps to really give you a salon feel. Now you can see the nail, there's no more of that shiny stuff, and it looks a lot more clean. And if I give you the profile on the nails, there's no crustiness on the side. But this is what I like to do, okay? So I always go back in and just polish and, you know, just really clean up the nail. Okay, so I'm gonna do this and come back. Okay, so the cleanup is done. Now the next thing to do is to moisturize, and you guessed it, girl. Okay, I love me some Nivea cream. This is my hand cream, my everything cream. I don't really fool around with cuticle oils whenever I do stuff like this. I don't have any cuticle oil, to be honest with you. Well, that's a lie. That's a lie. I got some, but I don't use it, okay? I prefer to use a nice hand cream or a body cream, and I always tend to grab for my Nivea cream when it comes to moisturizing my hands and moisturizing my cuticles. Cuticle oil, I feel like it's too thin and it can really, you know, seep in through the nail, and then after a while your nails are lifting a little too quickly. So I prefer to use a nice heavy moisturizing cream to put back moisture into my hands, and I just rub that same cream around my nail. I'm sorry the camera is in and out of focus, but you get the gist. I think next time I'm gonna film this whole thing with my phone, because this camera is giving me a run for its money. Okay, that autofocus said, girl, you need to keep still. But that's how I like to moisturize my cuticles and my hands. I am not big on cuticle oil. It is such a silly fad, if you ask me. As long as you have some really good moisturizer, body lotion or whatever, like, just use that. It's enough. A nice shine. The nails are shining. The hands are nice and saturated. So, so beautiful. The cuticles look great. Like, girl, you don't need to be out here buying cuticle oil. Just get you a good hand cream. And if I'm going to recommend, there you go. And there you have it, guys. Those are the nails. I think they're so beautiful, very wintry, you know, very much on par for the season. Listen, your girl is getting good at this nail thing, okay? I'm not even gonna hold you. I am so proud of myself, okay? Aren't these cute? Come on now. And they look like you went and got your nails done. They don't really give that press on look, you know? So those are my tips and tricks on how to have really, you know, luxurious looking press-ons, like to get the most out of your press-ons, you know. Listen, if it is your first time here, go ahead and subscribe, join the tribe, come on in. We are a happy bunch. We like to keep it nice and clean and classy in here. Like the video if you liked it. Let me know if you want more nail videos and I will keep it in there. I will try and get better at the recording. I really tried. Oh, I am so in love with these. These are just so pretty. I can't get over it. Follow me on all of my social media platforms. Girl, we got our Instagram back. Okay. Yes. Girl, we out here. We out here again. All right. Yeah, comment down below. I want to hear from you guys. And I hope this gave you some, you know, some winter inspiration. And until the next video, take care of yourselves. And I will see you guys really soon. I love you guys.